Quote number 1. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. This means that in order to learn new things, you have to let go of previous things in your mind. The best example could be of oceans of knowledge. One needs to be very brave enough in order to question previous oceans of knowledge and discover new oceans. Old knowledge is comfort zone that we often go into. Unless we don't question it, we cannot hope to grow and develop our mental ability. Another example to explain this could be of acting. When an actor decides to play a character in the same way that he or she did previously, there are lesser chances of growth of that particular actor. He or she may leave a lot of things unexplored in this particular case because of comfort zone. A good actor should keep reinventing himself or herself through different roles. One thing to learn here is that we should be brave enough to question our beliefs, no matter how convinced we are of them, so that we can grow at every point of our lives, and discover ourselves. Quote number 2. It is better to be hated for what you are, than to be loved for something you are not. This means that you should value yourself the most in the world. If the world hates you for something that you are, it doesn't matter because deep down, you know yourself and you are intelligent enough to identify your own basic nature. But if the world loves you for something you are not, you should consider it but not bother about it because deep down you know that you are playing a character in your own mind. For example, if a person is an introvert by nature, the world might hate him or her as he or she might talk very less or might not interact that well with other people. But this is actually better for him or her because this is the natural disposition of that particular person. However, if the same person is loved by people because he or she might play the role of an extrovert really well, that person should reflect inside himself or herself, and stay true to the kind of person he or she is inside. It is all about staying true to your own self inside of you. Kindly subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon to get notified about new videos. Quote number 3. The most beautiful things are those that madness prompts, and reason writes. This means that madness of a certain individual or a group of people is something that can create something beautiful, only if it remains in the domain of logic. Madness is the passion which stimulates imagination and encourages the mind to think creatively and push its limits. But if it crosses the boundary of logic, it leads to creations which are exaggerated. They tend to lose their charm and beauty. One example of something that can further explain this quote is that of Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci took many years to make this painting, and if you look at the painting closely, there is a lot of effort that has been done to make it. In some areas in the painting, the brush strokes that have been used are even thinner than a single hair. This painting is the result of absolute madness by Leonardo da Vinci, the genius, but there is a proper structure of reasoning. For example, the background in the painting is blurred. This has been done to properly highlight the subject, which is more important than the background. One thing to learn here is that all the masterpieces in the world are the result of blend of madness and logic. Quote number 4. The want of logic annoys. Too much logic bores. Life eludes logic, and everything that logic alone constructs remains artificial and forced. This means that a lot of logical reasoning irritates the mind. This is not exciting because excessive logic is boring. In life, everything can't be logically explained. For example, in reality, logically, there is no meaning in anyone's life. But all people in the world give meaning to their life according to their own mind. Imagination is fun because it pushes our mind somewhere out of logic. Logic alone creates things which are boring and can't be enjoyed. Logic amalgamated with imagination can be fun to do or see. Another example which can be used to explain this quote is of fictional novels. In these kinds of novels, there are fantasy worlds and fictional characters which don't have logical explanations. But they are fun to read and are often used by readers as amazing escapes to dive into a world which is very different from their own. Even a fictional movie is something that you dive into where there is sometimes little logic. But if it is something interesting, it really grabs your attention and keeps you at the edge of your seat till the very end.